Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. I know that we've been doing this the last few weeks, and we appreciate the support of everyone jumping in and tuning in. For those that may be new to viewing this or joining into our live here, we just wanted to create this as a platform for people to tune in to see how individuals can still stay connected during this time, bringing on guests across the nation here. That are recovery advocates or even in recovery themselves, and just have conversation and dialogue and give the opportunity for you guys to ask questions. We have certain topics that we'll discuss today. Just to introduce everybody quick, so my name is Wes Van Epps, and I work for Wisconsin Voices for Recovery. I'm on here with my coworker Jessica Geschke, and this week's guests are Lee and Tiffany Turner. They'll do more of a formal introduction here in a second when I turn it over to Jessica. She's going to be the one leading today's live Q&A. So welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Jess.
Hello, everyone. So like Wes said, my name is Jessica Geschke. I'm also an outreach coordinator for Wisconsin Voices for Recovery. And I'm just so thrilled today to have Lee and Tiffany Turner with us. When Wes and I were discussing who would lead to this week's topics, he told me that I could because Lee and Tiffany are my homies.
Right on.
I was excited about that. So I met Lee and Tiffany about 1.5 years ago now. And I just want to share the story real quick about how I met you folks. But I met you through a mutual friend, I think it was from here in Horicon, because your recovery story, Lee, was shared on their Facebook page. You had posted about 1.5 years ago your story of recovery, and they shared it, and I thought, who is this guy from Horicon that's in recovery, that's some national rock star, as I call you. So I kind of stalked your Facebook page to figure out who you were, and on a whim, I reached out, and I thought, he's never going to respond to me. And I was just so moved by your response back to me. Number one, that you cared enough to even message me back. But two, that you wanted to know what was going on in Wisconsin around recovery and advocacy and the addiction and the things that people were going through here. And then you took it one step further and said, what you guys got going on up there for events, and can I come speak? And so we hosted you here for the 2019 rally. And then I got to know your amazing wife because as I was stalking your page, I was seeing all this stuff that Tiffany was doing. And I just love you both. I love you guys. I love everything you stand for, your work that you do. You just give so selflessly of yourselves for everybody else. And so thank you. Thank you for everything you do in this world. I want to be you when I grow up. And so thank you guys both for coming on and doing this for us. And if you want to share a little bit about what you guys have been up to since the rally, I feel like that was forever and ever ago. And I haven't seen you since, well, social media wise, I haven't seen you in person since then. But like, what's been going on since then?
All right, I'll lead off. Thanks, Wes, and thanks, Jesse, so much for this opportunity. So since the rally was awesome. We came back, holidays happened, life happened, and now we're in this thing that we're going through. I don't know what has happened. It seems like forever ago, but time has flown really quick. We're just working as normal. Life is going on, and
the holiday season is always really crazy for us because a lot because of my job, and then we always do a Christmas show. And then the first of the year, you were gone some with work. I was in Guatemala. And then before we know it, Lee is in Europe on tour. And in the middle of this, March 12th is when you came home. I was actually supposed to go and meet him there for a few days. And in the middle of their tour in Europe, they canceled the remaining 3 dates they had. And as just the blessing of the timing and everything, they were able to get on a plane as a group and leave before the crazy influx of
Yeah.
people trying to exit the UK for the US, and he got home safely, and none of the band tested positive.
No, nobody
Had
tested.
COVID-19 because
Yeah,
of
we
it.
all got through. We were stuck in Dublin, and we heard the president talk about, travel bans and all that, and our group got us home real quick. So luckily, everybody's safe, and we're home.
So we've both been working from home.
Tiff works upstairs. I work downstairs. I have a studio here, and I'm able to. I had some projects that I recorded before I left for Europe, so I'm able to finish them up and people send me keyboard tracks and stuff to do via internet, and I'm comping a vocal today, so I'm working on somebody else's project, and they just send me stuff.
Mhm.
So we both just work upstairs and downstairs and cook a lot of meals, and
We've done some yard work, but it's been cold. Well, I say it's been cold. For us, it's been cold the last couple of days.
it's not been cold. But that's about it.
That's it in a nutshell.
Okay. So, and just for you, Lee, to talk a little bit about what is it exactly you do. People ask me that, and I'm like, oh yeah, like he plays with Darius Rucker. Like that's what I say to people.
So I moved to Nashville 24 years ago, something like that. Maybe might be more. In hopes and aspirations to play for a country music artist, and that's all I've ever done since I've moved here. I've been lucky enough to keep that going. So yes, I work for a guy named Darius Rucker. I've been playing keyboards and acoustic guitar and a little bit of background vocals for him for 12 years. And that is a steady gig, even though you might not see us on tour. We do private shows, we do corporate shows, things like that. My side hustle has always been working in the studio, and we have a studio in the bottom part of our house. And I work with singer-songwriters, bands, independent artists. And like I said, if somebody sends me their tracks and I can add keyboards to them. I also play in this girl's band when I'm home and she'll have me. So that's what I do.
Cool. Thank you for kind of elaborating on that a little bit. And so I know I mentioned before that you are in sobriety, long-term sobriety. Can you share a little bit about that, how you got there, and maybe now even so too with COVID-19, what kind of things are you doing? Have you changed things up? How are you staying connected?
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm in long-term sobriety. I've got 7.5, I think, years. November 8th, 2012 is my birthday. And things are good. Before that, things were not good. All the stereotypical stories that we've all gone through, or we've known people that go through it. My life was messy. I'll leave it at that. I had a hard time navigating life. Life was hard. It was poor, pitiful Lee. Everything was against me. But the only thing that was really against me was myself and my addiction. So my addiction was alcohol, with a little bit of pills on the side. And I managed to get sober on that date and stay sober by the grace of God. And God is my higher power. And without him and the program that I'm in, I wouldn't be here talking to y'all today. And during this time, so I still go to meetings. I'm about a 1 to 2 meeting a week person right now. I've got my home group, and that's just being real honest. I do, right now I'm doing a lot of reading. I'm reading the Bible. We're doing it in 6 months. I got a group of guys. There's 17 guys. We keep each other accountable via text, and it's all laid out. So that's really kind of cool and really digging deep into my faith. Other than that, Zoom meetings, I was like, what do I do? I can't go to my home group. What do I do? I can call my sponsor anytime. That's still, nothing's changed with that. So I reached out. A couple of Tiffany's friends helped me find some Zoom meetings here in Nashville. And I love them because there's a 7:30 that I can pop on. Even if I'm still getting ready in the bathroom, I keep my video off. And, and just listen. And I think it's a really cool way for me to navigate and not isolate, because nothing honestly has really changed for me other than the fact that I don't go out to eat sometimes, or I don't go out on tour. I'm still in that chair right over there working on music by myself. So that's one of the things I struggle with, is isolation. Communication with this girl right here is huge, and she helps me out quite a bit. So I try and stay accountable by, doing those things, calling my sponsor and jumping on Zoom meetings and just talking with people. And it doesn't even have to be somebody in addiction. I try and get out there and talk to somebody every day via FaceTime. We do that with our friends. Like, hey, we haven't talked to somebody in so long. Boom, let's FaceTime. Because let's face it, we're all home, so we can.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that. I think that's one of the struggles that we see people have, right? Because they're in recovery or an active addiction, and they're struggling with communication. They're struggling with connection right now because meetings aren't being held. And so I love that you express that. Just hop on a Zoom. You don't have to have your video up. You don't have to look perfect. Just video off and listen.
And that's what you would do at a meeting. Like, there was a speaker meeting the other day. It was perfect, or whatever it is. Yeah, just listen.
Yep. Excellent. Thank you. So I know you came back, when obviously you came back to Wisconsin to HorrorCon, big town of HorrorCon. We came back and we spoke at the school. That was amazing in September. And we talk about like memories, right? And things that come up from our past. How do you deal with that when you have memories that come up and triggers or things like that come up?
So my experience in Wisconsin coming up and speaking at the rally was amazing. Probably one of the highlights of my life. It was just my whole thing is to be open and honest. And that was a chance for me to talk in front of complete strangers, friends, and people I grew up with, people who have supported me through the ups and downs. And like, I have goosebumps right now, and it's just being honest. So that part of the day was great. And then there was another part that wasn't so great. I was back home and I had to deal with one of my biggest triggers, and it triggered, and I had to navigate that. And talking about it,
Going to see
my counselor. Yeah. And doing the things that I had already put in motion, doing the steps to keep myself on the right track, rather than just saying, oh, I had a crappy day, I'm just going to drink. Wasn't an option, because nothing is that bad that I want to drink over it. Because if anything I've learned, and I can't get inside my head and think for myself, I have to put in place like my 911 plan. What do I do next? Who do I call? Who do I talk to? So it was a great experience. And it honestly, after going through what I went through, I'm deeper into my recovery than ever, and I know that I can handle the hard stuff. So yeah, it was a huge, huge high and kind of a big low, but overall super awesome. You have anything you want to add to that? No? Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Tiffany, I want to also talk to you a little bit about Souls for Souls. And I know that's such a huge passion for you. And I remember when I was creeping Facebook pages and finding out about this endeavor and learning what you do for this organization, I was just in awe. And I know now, like, there's this Give 5, Tag 5 thing going on. Can you share a little bit, first of all, about Souls for Souls, what y'all are doing, and then what we can do to help?
Sure. I work for the nonprofit Souls for Souls. We're based here in Nashville, Tennessee, but we are an international organization, and really we seek to provide opportunity through the distribution of shoes and clothing. And that happens in a variety of ways. We provide people shoes and clothing when they need it most through partnerships with organizations around the world. And then we also take used shoes and clothing that are in our closets that we no longer wear or want, and we're able to send those to developing countries. Examples would be Haiti, Honduras, countries in Africa. where people can then create their own business with them and have the income and the opportunity then to take care of their families, gain independence and empowerment, and just give themselves and their families a better life. So I am their director of outreach, and I primarily work with all of the organizations around the world who ask us for shoes, whether it's an after-school program in the United States, a homeless shelter. We work with a lot of transitional rehabilitative programs in the United States who help men and women once they're sober to then transition back into life and employment. We work with relief organizations when there's a natural disaster. We partner with organizations to provide those items. So a lot of my job is working firsthand with those organizations when they need shoes. We are all working from home right now. We have about 60-ish employees, and we have 6 different warehouse locations across the United States, one big one in Alabama. The group in Alabama, because a lot of our work is deemed essential, they're able to go in, but a lot of us are at home right now doing what they're asking us to do and practice social distancing. Because we have a lot of remote employees, we had the structure in place to really successfully transition into remote. My job, crazy as it is, has not slowed down. And in fact, I feel like it's kind of ramped up because I've been calling COVID-19 for several weeks the great equalizer. No matter where you are in the world or in the United States, no matter what income bracket you're in, this has affected everyone. And for a lot of our partners that we work with to serve people in need, this is hitting them even harder because they were already serving extremely vulnerable populations who are already stretched financially and economically as it is. And I have seen the increase in requests for help go up. So it has not slowed down on our end. And the only thing that has slowed down for us and has been shoe collections, because big companies like DSW, all the DSWs in the United States, you can take up to 5 pair of shoes at one time in there and throw them in a collection box for us. You can go to certain places and drop them off. We have volunteer opportunities where people can go to some of our warehouses and sort. So that has slowed down because this is the season where we need to stay at home. But we do have a really cool program right now. We've been doing this a lot on social media, and I sent Jessie a graphic so that she can share it with you. But it's called Give 5, Tag 5. And it really helps if you're on social media. If you're not, you can send a text to friends as well. But we're asking people to go in their closets, find 5 pair of shoes that they no longer want or throughout your family unit, and take those shoes and then take a picture of them or share a cool photo and then tag 5 of your friends to do the same thing. And Jessie will share this as well. If you go on our website, soulsforsouls.org. So that's SOLES, soul in your heart, the number 4. Oh no, I never messed that up because everyone messes it up. Souls for souls. So it's souls like the soles of your feet, the number 4, souls as in your heart.org / the number 4, the planet. That link takes you directly, I'll send it to you. It takes you to the instructions on how you can get those shoes to us. Zappos for Good has been amazing to us. If you put those shoes in a box and you go to Zappos for Good, you can print a free shipping label. All you got to do is drop that box off at a UPS location. They will ship them to us. There's also a really cool thing on there as well on the For the Planet site, which is a superhero kit. It is something you can get your children involved with at home. There's a really neat video that we made of what it means to be a superhero, to take care of our planet and clean out our closets. So there's a little logo you can have your children color and you can tape on their t-shirt. There's little superhero bands. And we've gotten some really cool pictures of families that have gotten their kids involved.
Oh, that's cool.
But it also is a great way. People think sometimes if I can't do something big, I'm not doing anything. And I can just tell you from the work that I do that that's not true. One pair of shoes, just the act of caring about somebody in that way, is a game changer, a life changer for people. So you could be looking at 5 pairs of shoes that you no longer want to wear. For a single mother in Haiti, that could mean feeding her family for a week once she sells them. So if you're able to help, Jesse will share all the links, and we'd love to have you help. That's in a nutshell what I do. I travel a lot for them too, but I'm not able to right now.
Next trip might be Madagascar.
Next trip, hopefully, is Madagascar in August. I had 4 other trips.
Yeah.
Other than that we have had to cancel just because we have to right now. But again, in saying that, this is a season, and we all know that, and it affects all of us in different ways, but this is not for the rest of our lives. And I believe things will change in some ways, but this is a season we're in. It's not where we're going to stay forever.
Thank you so much. Your positivity about everything in life is just inspiring. The other thing I wanted to ask you about is, I've watched your videos. I've watched you been baking bread in your house on, but you are such a woman who is grounded in your faith. And so during times like this right now, what advice do you have for other people who may be struggling right now with just not even COVID-19, or maybe it's, finding that higher power, wanting to know like what's next? I know that even for me, I struggle with the unknown, like what happens next? What are we doing? What is this all about? What advice do you have for that?
Well, to echo Lee, God is my higher power as well. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. I have been since I was in college. And, Jesse, I appreciate the compliment about being positive, and for the most part I am, but we both try to be, because because of my faith, and just because of that growth in my life, I do have the peace that passes all understanding for me. And I know that there will be things that come along that I can't control and I don't understand. Just yesterday, I got some horrible news from one of our partners in Honduras, things that I just can't even comprehend. And, and that's the thing, like, even in the midst of not understanding and not comprehending, I know that I can look to God and say, I don't understand right now. I can't follow you on this, but I know where my peace and my help comes from. The beginning of March, Lee and I had a tornado come through our neighborhood, and it was within 3 houses of ours. And we were following the news and knew when it was time to get in the basement. I'm from South Carolina. I had never been through a tornado that close. And the power went out. We were in the basement closet. Lee's bandmate texted him, it's about to go over your house, your neighborhood. And we prayed. And then we were just holding on to each other. And I just had a moment where I was like, God, here we go. And I had just a wave of peace come over me, and I was not knowing what was going to happen to our house, not knowing what in the next 30 seconds could mean for our lives. And if it had taken our house away, or possibly one of us, all of the pain and the doubt and the frustration and all of those feelings that we would feel, there would have still been the peace of the assurance and the presence of that higher power in my life. It doesn't mean that things are always positive or always full of sunshine and rainbows, but it's the fact that you're not alone in that process. And for me too, it's the comforting fact that I'm not in control. And I know that this season is just so hard. I have a really good friend who has a young daughter who she just went into the workforce, and she's in Wisconsin training, and she's far away from her family, and she's unable to leave, and they're still virtually training. But she was talking to her daughter the other day, and her daughter was like, I just don't know how to navigate through this. And her mom looked at her and said, well, I don't either. This is a first for both of us. And you know, it's uncharted territory for everyone, but a lot of things we just try to remember is we can't control this. We don't have any, predicted outcomes of anything, but we have every day to do what we can for our responsibilities and for each other to just try and make the most of that day. And, I know everyone's situation is so different, and we feel very, very blessed to be in the situation we're in. But there's just, I know for me, just having that faith and that assurance that, I'm not in control of this, and there's no way I can be, really gives me peace. And I still have moments, where I have to just take a minute and realize, I can give in to negativity, and I can turn the news on 24/7, and I can wrap myself up in that. Or I can try to look at some of the most simple things and just let that give me life and give me joy in the midst of less than ideal circumstances.
Yeah, thank you. I love that. I love that because if we're talking about recovery, we can totally tie that into finding the joy in everything, even within our own recovery, and taking it one day at a time. And there can be so much chaos going on throughout the world, but we have to stay grounded, and we have to know what we believe in and fight, and just remember that this too shall pass. And I love that. So thank you so much. I guess the last thing we'll have you guys, I want you to play a song, but I did want to just quick touch on these basement sessions you guys got going on there in your house. I listen to them all the time. So why don't you share a little bit about that? Because I know it's having a huge impact across the country. For everyone that's tuning in, I can see all the comments as we're watching you guys live. You've named them now, basement sessions. So tell us a little bit how that started, and then play a tune for us.
Absolutely. So we both, Tiffany's an amazing singer, and I play, and
He's an amazing
and
he's a singer.
And so we thought, one night, I don't know, we were just like, let's play. And
let's just play. We just were like, why don't we just put a video up and play music?
Yeah.
We never do that.
And the first video got 1,000 something people watched it, and we're like, and then one of our friends said, why don't you call it the basement session? So that's how it got named in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And we just started doing that, and throwing out songs and stuff that we've played before or stuff that we've wanted to play. And we realized real quickly the impact that it's having on people. And we realized that we've got a roof over our head. We have food. We both are still blessed enough to have our jobs. But there's people out there that are really struggling, and we struggle. And this is a way for us to cope and really help people and let them look forward to something that's hopefully positive, and hopefully can let them grieve if they need to grieve, or just be themselves. And
we're trying to do what they're asking us to do and stay home. And that's hard for me sometimes. I'd like to be out there doing things, more. I'm a helper. If you guys know anything about the Enneagram, I'm a 2 through and through, and that type is the helper. And so this, at times, I feel like I'm not doing anything. And this is our thing we can do. Now, I'm not a nurse. I'm not a doctor. You sure don't want me to shop for groceries for you, because I might buy like 8 boxes of Cheez-Its. Essential.
Right.
So this is our way that we have been able to give back.
Yeah. And then the other night, Tiff came to me and she says, I have an idea for a song, and she had all these amazing lyrics. So we sat down here and hammered it out, and less than an hour we had a little tune, and
Yeah.
we worked on it a little bit, and it's amazing, and it's talking about what we're going through exactly right now. So we'd like to share that with you if we could.
And we're gonna record it when we get time.
Like an official recording.
Because it feels like every day the days are flying by. But one of the things first in that I heard so many people say is just, well, when it's over. And one thing for me that I will remember in a year when this is over is having this much time with him, and getting to know my neighbors better and reconnecting with old friends on FaceTime or in emails, or something as simple as our doors and windows being open and actually stopping and listening to the birds, and I will remember that. And so as difficult as the season is, we just don't let the things pass you by that everything might be trying to teach you,
Love that.
So I'm going to shut up now.
You're good.
When it's over, we listen for the birds. Stop and watch the sun begin the day. When it's over, will we feel the burden of a world that's hurt? Wish we could take away the pain. Don't forget the hope and faith we found through this time for mankind. When it's over, it's working day and night, really all that great. If we climb to the top, who will we leave along the way? Just to have what we need, and those who believe in us could be enough. When it's over, there are moments, and they make up our life, and we can choose to be present or just pass them by. Every moment matters. Moments truly matter. It's all there is. When it's over, when we look back on this time, I hope we can see the gift God gave you and I, to see Him, to know till it's over.
Thank you. Excellent. Wonderful. So the only other thing I wanted to just give you guys a quick plug. Do you have your CDs?
We do.
Yeah.
Can you show those? Where can people
So we,
find them?
I think, should I offer the same thing? Just 15?
Yeah, I can't find the other one.
Okay, so Tiffany has a CD that when we first met that she had recorded that's amazing. It's more soul and R&B based, and then we also have our Christmas CD that's for sale. It's not Christmas, but why not start thinking early, right?
Yes.
So they're $15 each, and we'll take care of shipping.
Yeah.
So if you just want to, I don't know how you want to do it, get a hold of us.
TiffanyTurnerMusic.com is where you can actually order the CDs. TiffanyTurnerMusic.com. And this is also on iTunes and Spotify.
So in this, the CD is Tiff and Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Tiff and Lee. Can you see that? No, you can't.
Yeah.
Oh, my finger.
There
Tiff
you go.
You look at on Spotify and iTunes. Tiff and Lee.
Definitely. So.
I have them both. Love them.
Thank you, guys.
Well, and we are going to work on. We're going to record that.
Yes.
And then we have more stuff that we're working on. So. But
Awesome.
we thank you for asking us to do this.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. And are there any questions from anyone that are on? I see all your pretty faces. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you.
Just some waving. No questions.
If you guys do have any questions, you can always reach out to me afterwards if you feel like a private message would be better. I totally, I'm open about my recovery, and I love to share and help. And the more I put it out there on like Facebook, I never thought I'd put it out there on Facebook. I never, I'm okay with it. The more that people are reaching back to me, and I have friends that I went to high school, I have friends that I went to college with that are struggling just like what we do and what I do. And so if you feel like, find me on social media, I'm Lee Turner, and, talk to me, hit me up. I'm okay with that. So.
Then you can watch all their basement sessions.
You watch all the sessions. There's some really good ones. There's
Yes.
done at night and we're like, whoa.
Well, and that's the thing too, like even when we're done at night, like it's not just that we're like, oh, we're gonna sing for you guys. We both feel better. It takes us out of that space for a few moments. And music is a language everyone understands. It's powerful. So it does us just as much good as it hopefully is doing those who watch.
So come join us.
Yep, we love it. All right. Well, thank you both so much, and we'll be in touch. Thanks again.
Good, thanks,
Thank you,
everybody.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.